Welcome, baseball fans, to Cormel Field at Sparrow Stadium here on the campus of Francis Marion University for our initial webcast of Francis Marion University baseball in 2020. Tonight's contest has the Limestone College Saints against your Francis Marion University Patriots. The Saints come in with a record of 0-4, while Francis Marion has split its first 4 games and has a 2-2 mark. We'll run down the starting lineups for tonight's contest. For the Saints from Gaffney, South Carolina, batting first at shortstop, senior Trace Wetzel. Batting second in right field, a junior, Vance Deese. Batting third, the DH, junior Brian Forbes. And the cleanup spot at first base, sophomore Benjamin Huber. Batting fifth, the catcher, junior Kyle Strovink. Batting sixth at third base, junior Michael Roberts. Batting seventh at second base, junior Ethan Danley. In the 8th spot, in center field, sophomore David Kennedy. And batting ninth in left field, senior Josh Evans. On the mound for Limestone this evening, senior left-hander Marcus Johnson. He comes in with a record of 0-1. He's made 1 start, an ERA of 6.75. No strikeouts, 4 walks in his 4-inning stint in his first game this season. For the Patriots, batting leadoff in center field, junior Bill Hanna. Batting second in right field, sophomore Tanner Wakefield. Batting third at first base, junior Tyler Mangum. In the cleanup spot, the DH, senior Leniel Gonzalez. Batting fifth at third base, junior Todd Maddox. Batting sixth at second base, senior Grayson Cunningham. Batting seventh, the catcher, sophomore Dalton Dabbs. Batting eighth in left field, freshman John Mitchell Carter. And batting ninth at shortstop, junior Sam Stonskis. On the mound for the Patriots tonight, senior left-hander Josh Bobrowski. Josh started the season opener for FMU this year against Mars Hill, a 10-0 Francis Marion win. Bobrowski went 5 innings, struck out 12, walked 3, and allowed only 2 hits. So he comes in with a record of 1-0 and an ERA of 0. Umpires for tonight, Mike Parnell behind home plate, Gary Smith-Tana on the bases, and up here in the press box, Kelsey King will be on the camera, and Chelsea Gregley handling the live stats. And I'm Michael Hawkins, the Sports Information Director here at Francis Marion. At this time, we'll now pause for the playing of the National Anthem. Game time temperature here in Florence, 50 degrees. Winds at 29 miles an hour out of the west, gusting up to 40. And they are blowing straight out to left field. So hard to tell how the ball will fly tonight. It is cool, but the wind is really picking up. Francis Marion and Limestone, no strangers to each other, despite the fact we're not in the same conference. Both are former members of NAIA District 6. The Saints are now members of Conference Carolinas. This is their last year in that conference. They'll be moving to the South Atlantic Conference beginning this fall. And, of course, Francis Marion, a member of the Peach Belt Conference. Limestone is led by head coach Chris Wiley. Coach Wiley is in his 6th season in Gaffney. Only 3 coaches in the history of the Limestone program. It was started by Hall of Fame pitcher Gaylord Perry. Perry coached for 3 or 4 seasons in Gaffney, and he was then succeeded by Anthony Chico Lombardo, a Francis Marion graduate and a member of the FMU Athletic Hall of Fame. Lombardo is the winningest coach in the history of the program, and following Chico, then came Chris Wiley. For the Patriots, only 2 coaches in the history of the program. Gerald Griffin began the program in 1973, and when he retired, current head coach Art Inabinit took over. Inabinit picked up his 600th win as the Patriot mentor this past weekend with a victory over Lenore Ryan. So leading off for the Saints will be the shortstop, Trey Wetzel. Wetzel comes in batting .333, 1 home run, 5 RBIs. He scored 5 runs in the Saints' first 4 contests. And again, Josh Bobrowski, the senior lefty, on the bump for the Patriots. First pitch comes in at 6:03. Hit on the ground is short where Stonskas fields, throws across to Mangum, and quickly 1 down here in the top of the first inning. Stepping in for the Saints, the right fielder, Vance Dees. Dees batting .412, which leads the Saints. 2 doubles, a home run, 6 RBIs. He's scored 6 runs in Limestone's first 4 contests. On base percentage of .476. Bobrowski threw quite a few pitches in his first outing last week, and as you can imagine, with 12 punch-outs. D swings through the second offering, and he's now down in the count 0-2. Around the infield for the Patriots, Maddox at third, Stonskas at short, Cottingham at second, and Mangum at first. Dalton Dabbs behind the plate for FMU tonight. Outfield, John Mitchell Carter in left, Bill Hanna in center, and Tanner Wakefield in right. Misses a little low and outside. Count now even at 2-2. This is the first of a 3-game series. 2 teams will meet again tomorrow here at FMU at 2 o'clock, and then we'll play the 3rd game up in Gaffney at 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. Bobrowski gets the sign. Here comes the 2-2. Hammered but foul just down the right field line. Misses outside. The count now full. Limestone dropped its season opening series to Carson Newman, losing 11-6, 9-4, and 18-17. And then they lost to Anderson University 6-4 midweek. As we mentioned, the Patriots defeated Mars Hill University 10-0 in the season opener. And then on Saturday, beat Lenore Ryan and lost to Southern Wesleyan. And then on Wednesday, the Patriots dropped a heartbreaker 10-9 in 10 innings to the University of Mount Olive. So Deese works his works a walk after falling behind 0-2, and the Saints have their first base runner. That'll bring up the DH, Brian Forbes. He's batting .389, 3 doubles, a triple, 5 RBIs. He's scored 4 runs in the 4 games. There's an on-base percentage of .476. Deese, the runner at first, has not attempted a stolen base this season. That pitch was high, and Bobrowski falls behind 2-0. We will be back on the web tomorrow for the game at 2 o'clock. And from here on out, all of the home games will be webcast, as will the home softball games. We'll bring you the Patriots softball doubleheader with Newberry College on Sunday. And that's got a first pitch of 1 o'clock over at the FMU softball stadium. And Abbott finishes up a visit with Bobrowski. Swing and a miss, and the count is now 2-1. I'd like to welcome everyone from Gaffney who may be tuning in this evening. I'm no Fabian Fuentes, but I'll do my best to bring you the sights and sounds of tonight's contest. Thanks to Limestone SID Ernest Myers for helping getting the rosters and stats for this week's series. The 2-2 from Bobrowski to Forbes. In the dirt, gets past Dabbs, and Deese will advance to second base on the wild pitch. So the count goes full, and the Saints have their first runner in scoring position. Limestone comes in with a team batting average of .319. They have scored 31 runs in their first 4 games. Patriots have a .250 batting average and have scored 31 runs in their first 4 games. FMU enters with a team ERA of 4.11, while the Saints have a team ERA of 8.50. And again, the full count offering is fouled off. Stonskas jockeying back and forth to keep Deese as close to second as he can. That pitch misses high and outside. And Bobrowski's issued his second walk of the inning. The Saints have runners on first and second with 1 down. We'll bring up the cleanup batter, first baseman Benjamin Huber. Huber batting .333, 2 doubles, 5 RBIs, .429 on base percentage. Outfield pretty much straight away. Hannah in center, shaded slightly to the left. Off-speed pitch finds the zone. Huber, a sophomore, 6'3", 245 out of Pendleton, South Carolina, and a graduate of Pendleton High School. Misses low. Count now even at 1-1. Francis Marion men's tennis team was victorious in its season opener today, winning 4-1 over Newberry College in the City of Florence College Tennis Tournament. That's being played over at the City of Florence Dr. Eddie Floyd Tennis Center. The women's tennis team in action as we speak against Bluefield State University out of West Virginia. Patriots have already taken the doubles point, so they lead 1-0 heading into singles play. The 1-2 from Bobrowski to Huber. Swung on and missed. And Bobrowski has recorded the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the catcher, Kyle Strovink. He's a junior, batting .250, 2 RBIs in his first 4 games, an on-base percentage of .278. Strovink is a junior, 6'1", 225 out of Rocky Point, New York. He is a transfer from USC Lancaster. That one's hammered to right field. That'll get down for a base hit in front of Wakefield. Diesel round second. Score easily without a throw. And the Saints have a 1-0 lead on an RBI single by Kyle Strovink. Forbes went all the way around to third on the play. Third baseman Michael Roberts now steps in. He's batting .333, a double, no RBIs, a .455 on-base percentage through the first 4 contests. For Huber, that was his 6th run batted in of the season. So runners on the corners, 2 outs. The 1-0 from Bobrowski. Off-speed pitch called strike 1. Lined at second base. Cottingham makes the easy catch, and the Saints are retired, but not before they pick up the first run of the game. So after half an inning, Limestone leads your Francis Marion Patriots 1-0. You're watching the Patriots Sports Network. You okay? Is the live stats up? All right, good. Back at Cormel Field in Sparrow Stadium, the Patriots getting ready for their first ups. On the mound for Limestone, senior left-hander Marcus Johnson. Johnson, 6 foot, 215 pounds, out of Lexington, Kentucky. He's a transfer from Edison State Community College. As we mentioned, he's already started 1 contest this year. Went 4 innings, allowed 3 hits, 6 runs. 3 of those runs were earned. Walked 4, did not strike out a batter. So he's 0-1 with an ERA of 6.75. Coming to the plate this half inning for your Patriots, at the very least, will be Bill Hanna, Tanner Wakefield, and Tyler Mangum. Hanna, Patriots center fielder, a junior, batting .263, 3 runs scored, a double, 3 RBIs, 250 on base percentage. And out of Lake City, South Carolina. Johnson misses on his first 2 offerings. Rounding out the coaching staff, as we mentioned, Chris Wiley is the head coach of the Saints. He's assisted by Ryan Cliff, Ryan Van Emberg, and Will Joss. Your Patriot coaching staff, head coach Art Navenant. He's assisted by Kyle Gallman, Will Thompson, and Trey Chapman. The athletic trainer is Jennifer Gary. Hannah lifts that into shallow left. Shortstop Trace Wetzel retreats and makes the catch for the first out. Up next for Francis Marion, Tanner Wakefield, sophomore right fielder, batting .429. This is his 4th game of the season. It's 3 for 7, a run scored, a double, no RBIs, and an on-base percentage of .556. Wakefield had a fairly productive freshman campaign. Made 25 starts, kind of a utility player, 14 at third base, 9 at second base, and 2 in the DH role. Drove in 13 runs and scored 21 times. Had an on-base percentage of .367. And in those 25 starts, had 7 multi-hit games and 4 multi-RBI games. And Wakefield draws a 4-pitch walk, and the Patriots have their first base runner. Tyler Magnum, the junior first baseman, will now step in, batting .286, 4 for 14. He's got 4 runs scored, a double, and 2 RBIs. On base percentage of .474. Mangum, 6'2", 170 pounds, out of Durham, North Carolina. Limestone defense around the infield. Roberts at third, Wetzel at short, Danley at second, Huber at first, Strovink behind the plate, Marcus Johnson on the bump. Outfield, Evans in left, Kennedy in center, and Deese in right. Johnson chases Wakefield back. Wakefield does have 1 stolen base this season. That one's foul, the back of first base. Huber making a long run and will not get to it. Got a little turned around. So Magnum has new life at the plate. Patriots as a team are 4 for 4 in stolen bases this year. Limestone just 1 for 2 in its first 4 contests. But opponents have been able to run on the Saints. They've stolen 10 out of 10 stolen base attempts so far this year. And we'll see if the Patriots can maybe take advantage of that. And that may be why Johnson is twice thrown over to first base. Try and keep Wakefield as close as possible. On deck for the Patriots, the DH, Lineal Gonzalez. Again, line down the right field line, but foul. The 0-2 from Johnson to Mangum. And that one nicked him. Not sure. Strovink is sure it did, but the umpire, Mike Parnell, said it did. So with an 0-2 pitch, Magnum is hit. And the Patriots now have runners on first and second with one out. Gonzalez, through the first 4 games, batting .364, 4 for 11, 2 runs scored, a homer and 4 RBIs. Gonzalez is a switch hitter. He'll be batting from the right side against the lefty Johnson. Of course, it'd be nice to see if he can get it in the air and see if the gusty wind maybe can play a role and help get a ball out of here tonight. Gonzalez will march down toward third and have a conversation with head coach Art Nabinet. We're in the bottom of the first inning here at Cormel Field. Limestone leads Francis Marion 1-0. Ben Huber RBI single in the top of the first has put the Saints on the board. Patriots looking to answer here in the bottom of the first. That one's in there for a called strike, and Gonzalez now in the hole, 0-2. Gonzalez looking to go the other way on an outside offering, fouls it off toward the Hartzler soccer field. Tanner Wakefield, the runner on second. Tyler Mangum, the runner at first. Saints outfield shaded toward right. Apparently not convinced that Gonzalez can get around on Johnson. Strovink and Johnson are going to meet, try and make sure they're on the same page. Lots of action tomorrow for Francis Marion Athletics. As we mentioned, again, these two squads will play again at 2 o'clock here at Cormel Field. Francis Marion softball team, undefeated at 4-0, will play at Belmont Abbey College. First pitch 1 o'clock for that doubleheader up in Belmont, North Carolina. Patriot men's tennis team will play Barton College at 9 a.m. in the semifinals of the tournament here in Florence. That one just misses, count now 2-2. The women's tennis team will play tomorrow. At 11 o'clock. In the semifinals or the losers bracket, however their result comes out tonight. The men's and women's basketball teams are on the road. They'll play at Young Harris College tomorrow afternoon, the women at 1:30 and the men at 3:30. Next home games for the basketball team will be Wednesday. The Patriots will host Augusta University. Women will tip off at 5:30, followed by the men at 7:30. Swung on and foul tipped into the glove of Strovink, and Gonzalez is down on strikes. So now with 2 outs, the third baseman, Todd Maddox, will come to the plate. The juniors batting .357, 5 for 14. 2 runs scored, 3 doubles, 4 RBIs, and an on-base percentage of .438. Maddox, 6 foot, 218 pounds, from Winnsboro, South Carolina. If Maddox is to reach, Grayson Cottingham would be the next Patriot batter. Quickly Johnson ahead, 0-2. Some of the Patriot faithful thought that might have been a little outside. But home plate umpire Mike Parnell has the best view of anyone. The 0-2. Bloop toward right field. That's going to get down in front of Deese. Wakefield will round. The throw home is almost or partially cut off, and that's going to allow Mangum to go to third, and Maddox takes second on the throw. So an RBI single to right by Maddox has knotted the score at 1-1. So similar to what the Saints did in the top of the first, a 2-out RBI single to right. Maddox delivers for the Patriots to even the score up. Maddox's 5th RBI of the season, which leads the Patriots. Grayson Cottingham now bats with 2 outs and runners on second and third. Cottingham batting .250, 3 for 12, 5 runs scored, which leads the Patriots. 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, a .333 on-base percentage. Cottingham is a local product, a senior from here in Florence, South Carolina. Cues that one off toward the Patriot dugout, and he's now down in the count, 0-2. On the relay throw home from Deese, the first baseman was going to cut it and then pulled his glove back, but unfortunately not far enough, and the ball was tipped, and that allowed the runners to advance the extra base. That one's lined to first base, but not tall enough to get over Hubert's head. He makes the catch for the 3rd out, and Cottingham is retired. But the Patriots pick up a run to even the score at 1-1. We've played 1 full inning. Francis Marion and Limestone tied at 1. We'd like to thank the following sponsors for Francis Marion University Athletics: Adidas, Circle Park Behavioral Health Services, McLeod Regional Medical Center, Ken Jackson and Remax Professionals, Pepsi, McDonald's, Rains Hospitality, including Fairfield Inn, Spring Hill Suites, Courtyard by Marriott, Comfort Inn, and Hyatt Place. Mike Rickenbach, Ford Lincoln Mercury, South Carolina Education Lottery, King Cadillac Buick GMC, McLeod Sports Medicine, Adams Outdoor Advertising, the Counseling Center of Florence, Chick-fil-A, FBI Construction, State Farm and Agent Jim Stewart, Quincy Steakhouse, Little Caesars, La Quinta Inn and Suites, KFC Arby's, Julia Bell's Restaurant, PD Electric Cooperative, Sparrow and Kennedy Tractor Supply, Western Sizzle and Steakhouse, State Credit Union, and Zaxby's. And we head to the top of the second, score knotted at 1-1. Due up for the Saints here in the top of the second. Danley, Kennedy, and Evans, batters 7, 8, and 9 in the order. Danley, the second baseman, a junior, 6'1". He's going to be 5'10", 155 pounds, out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, and he's a transfer from Surrey Community College. Danley comes in with a 273 average. He's 3 for 11 this season. 4 runs scored, 2 doubles. On base percentage of .429. The 1-1 outside. Count now 2-1. Bobrowski pitches from the stretch even when there are no runners on base. Just low, count now full. That's the third of 7 batters that the count has gone full to. But Bobrowski recovers, and Danley's down on strike, swinging. Second strikeout of the game for Bobrowski. It'll bring to the plate the center fielder, sophomore David Kennedy. Kennedy batting .200, 2 for 10 through the first 4 games. 3 runs scored, a double and a triple, 1 RBI. On base percentage of .333. Bobrowski pops the mid of Dabbs, but it's high with that offering, so the count's even at 1-1. We're in the top of the second inning. Francis Marion 1, Limestone 1. Both teams with 2-out RBI singles to right field in the first frame. And Kennedy is down on strikes for the second out. That'll bring to the plate the number 9 batter, the left fielder, senior Josh Evans. Evans playing in his 3rd game of the year. This is his first start. He was 0 for 2 in those other games. Count now 1-1. 2 outs and nobody on base here in the top of the second. Outfield pretty much straight away for the right-handed hitting Evans. He's a senior, 6 foot, 180 pounds, out of Indian Land, South Carolina. He also is a transfer from USC Lancaster. That pitch misses low. Count now even, 2-2. 2-2 offering from Bobrowski. Grounded right back up the middle. That'll be a base hit into center field. As Evans goes up the middle, right back where it came. That'll flip the order back to the top, and Trey Wetzel comes back to the plate. Wetzel grounded to short to lead off the game. For Evans, his first hit of the season, and quickly moves his batting average from zeros to 333. Wetzel, senior, 6'2", 170 pounds, out of Gilbert, South Carolina, and a product of Gilbert High School. Patriot pitchers and catchers have allowed opponents to steal 5 of 6 bases this season. Wetzel tardy on that offering. So the count now 2-1. 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Josh Evans, the Saints runner at first base. And he's going on the pitch. Called strike 2. The throwdown is going to be late. So Evans steals second base. The count on Wetzel now goes to 2-2. But the Saints do have another runner in scoring position. Limestone dressed in their road grays with the neon yellow numerals and piping. Patriots wearing their home whites this evening. Count now 3-2 to Wetzel. Limestone shortstop. With Evans, the runner at second base. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Grounded back to Bobrowski off his glove. He recovers, throws to first. Not in time. That's going to go as an E1. So runners are now on the corners. Still 2 outs here in the top of the second. That'll bring up Vance Deese, the right fielder. Deese walked and came around to score Limestone's first run in the top of the first. So Deese improved upon his team leading on base percentage. Swung on and missed. Count now 1-1. Deese batting from the left side against the lefty Bobrowski. Outside now 2-1. Forbes would be next if Deese can reach for the Limestone Saints. Hit in the air to center field. Hand on his horse. Back. It's going to be off the track and up against the wall. And that's going to be a 2-run double for Deese. And the Saints now lead 3-1. So Deese drives in his 7th and 8th runs of the season. That will bring Forbes both of those runs, of course, unearned after the 2-out error by Bobrowski. That'll bring Brian Forbes, the DH, to the plate. Forbes walked in his first at-bat back in the first, which wasn't all that long ago. In the dirt, good stop by Dabbs to hold The runner Deese at second base. That ball from Deese carried pretty well to center field. I don't know if it was helped by the wind or not. Certainly stung off the bat, but Hannah was not able to get to it. Inside corner called strike two. Bobrovsky now ahead, 1-2. Just misses. Count now even at 2-2. Forbes, 6'4", 240 pounds, out of Rocky Point, North Carolina, or Rocky Point, New York. He is a transfer from Herkimer County Community College. Two-two's foul back into the screen. Swung on a miss, and Forbes is down on strikes. So Bobrovsky strikes out the side, but unfortunately gives up a pair of unearned runs thanks to his own error there on the mound. So we played an inning and a half. Limestone 3, Francis Marion 1. Patriot Nation, be proud and wear red, white, and blue. Support your Patriots and visit Francis Marion Patriots online store at www.fmupatriotsshop.com. That's fmupatriotsshop.com to get all your Patriot gear. Keep up with all Patriot sports action online at www.fmupatriots.com. And in social media posts, FMU fans use the hashtag Swamp'em. Leading off for the Patriots here in the bottom of the second, the catcher, Dalton Dabbs. Dabbs looking for his first hit of the season. He's started and played in 2 contests. This is his third. He's 0 for 2, has 2 runs scored and an RBI. Dabbs a sophomore, 5'11", 170 pounds, out of Sumter, South Carolina. He and Tristan Freeman, Derek Neal, all battling for playing time behind home plate. Dabbs started, this is his third contest. Freeman started the other 2 for the Patriots. Count runs full. Johnson toes the rubber and gets the sign. His 3-2 offering. Hitting the air to left field. Evans coming in a few steps, makes the catch for the first out. So that'll bring to the plate the left fielder, John Mitchell Carter. Carter, a freshman, 6'2", 180 pounds, out of Dillon, South Carolina. Actually a redshirt freshman. He spent a redshirt year at USC Coastal Carolina, at Coastal Carolina University last year, but did not play. He's batting 125 through the first 4 games, 1 for 8. Does have 4 runs scored and a triple. 3 RBIs, on base percentage of .385. He's the lone Patriot batting from the left side against the lefty Johnson. Swung on a miss, count now 2-2. Outside corner, called strike 3. So Carter's retired for the second out. That'll bring up the number 9 batter, the shortstop, Sam Stonskas. The junior is batting .300, 3 for 10 with 2 runs scored, 4 RBIs. On base percentage of .462. Stonskas in his first year here with the Patriots. He's a junior, 5'8", 165 pounds, out of Eldridge, Iowa. Transfer from Blackhawk College. Grounded to first. Huber behind the bag. He'll take it himself. And the Patriots are retired 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the second inning. We'll move to the top of the third. Limestone leads Francis Marion 3-1. So back to Cormel Field. Top of the third inning, Limestone, the folks from up near the Giant Peach in Gaffney, South Carolina, lead your Patriots 3-1. Due up for the Saints, Huber, Strovink, and Roberts. Batters 4, 5, and 6 in the Limestone order. Against Patriot lefty Josh Bobrowski. Bobrowski, a senior left-hander. This is his second year at Francis Marion. He's an elementary education major. He spent 2 seasons at South Florida State College before coming to FMU. Shared the team lead last year with 12 starts, had a 5-6 mark with a 4.15 ERA, 78 strikeouts, and only 69 1/3 innings pitched. He ranked 8th in the Peach Belt Conference in strikeouts per contest. So the first baseman, Benjamin Huber, steps in. Huber, a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Francis Marion leads the all-time series with the Saints, 40-21. Two teams split a pair of meetings last season. Francis Marion won up in Gaffney 8-1, but the Saints were victorious 7-4 here in Florence. Ball is grounded through the left side for a single, and the Saints have their leadoff batter here in the top of the third inning. It's the fourth hit of the contest for Limestone. That'll bring to the plate the catcher, Kyle Strovink. Strovink had an RBI single with 2 outs in the first inning to plate the Saints' first run. Strovink bats from the left side and has a big hole to hit through now on the right side as Mangum is holding the base runner Huber on at first. But that one's hitting the air foul back over toward the FMU softball field. Count now even at 1-1. Tomorrow morning, Francis Marion hosts open house program here on campus. So if you're a prospective college student out there still looking, trying to decide where you want to go to school, but come out to open house. You can look up on the website at fmarion.edu. That's fmarion.edu for details. Count now 2-2 on Strovink. Off-speed pitch just misses, but the ball gets away from Dabbs, and Huber will advance on the pass ball. So the Saints again have a runner in scoring position, this time with nobody out. Strovink, the batter, 3-2 count. Huber, the runner at second. Nobody out here in the top of the third inning. Grounded to short through the legs of the base runner. Stauskas with the field, throws across to Mangum for the out at first. And Huber has to stay at second base. So now there's one out. Runner on second. It'll bring up the third baseman, Michael Roberts. Roberts line to second base in his first trip to the plate tonight. Swing and a miss on the first offering. Swinging strike 2. As we mentioned, these two teams will play again here at Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. Then they will move the series up to Gaffney and play a 3 o'clock single game on Sunday. Patriots will play a road contest at Queens next week on February 12th. That's a 2 o'clock start. I believe that game is in Kannapolis at the minor league park. And then it's the opening of Peach Belt Conference baseball as Roberts swings through that offering, and he is now a strikeout victim. Bobrowski's 5th strikeout of the night. And now the runner's still on second base, but now they're 2 outs. It'll be up to Ethan Danley. Do any more damage for the Saints. Danley, the second baseman, a strikeout victim back in the second inning. But next weekend, the Patriots open Peach Belt Conference play at Georgia College with single games on February 14th, 15th, and 16th. Count now 2-0. Bobrowski now up to 75 pitches here as we play in the top of the third inning. With that type of pitch count, if he can hold the Saints scoreless, I'm sure Coach Art Nabinet would like to get 5 innings possibly out of Bobrowski. But it possibly might be 4. Called strike 2, count now 2-2 on Ethan Danley. Swung on a missed. Strikeout and out number 3. So the Patriots survive a leadoff single and a passed ball to go ground out, strikeout, and strikeout. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Limestone College leads your Patriots 3-1. Back in the Mars Bluff area of Florence, here on the campus of Francis Marion University, just across the street from the atomic bomb crater. At Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium, the Saints lead the Patriots 3-1. Due up for the Patriots, the top of the order, Hannah, Wakefield, and Mangum. Head coach Art Nabinet takes his spot in the third base coaching spot. Will Thompson handling the duties down the first base line. Hannah popped to shortstop to lead off the Patriot first inning. That's hit in the air to right center field. Deese is over. Makes the catch for the first out. Sophomore right fielder Tanner Wakefield now takes his spot in the batter's box. Wakefield walked and scored the Patriot run in the bottom of the first inning. Came around on the RBI single by Todd Maddox. So after a rocky first inning, Marcus Johnson has recovered to retire 5 Patriots in a row. Swung on a miss, count now 2-1. Wakefield came into the game batting .429. Added to his on-base percentage with the first inning walk. Also swings through that offering, count now 2-2. That offering high. Count goes full. Line score for the Saints, 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Your Patriots, 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error. And that's swung on and missed for strike 3. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third now as first baseman Tyler Mangum steps in. Mangum was hit by a pitch back in the first inning, which helped lead to the Patriots' first run. Off-speed pitch in there for called strike one. It's grounded to short. Wetzel up with it. Throw across to Huber. And the Patriots are retired 1-2-3. So Johnson is now retired 7 in a row. We head to the top of the fourth inning. Limestone 3, Francis Marion 1. Josh Bobrowski prepares for the fourth inning. Here's the Saints lead 3-1. He will face batters 8, 9, and 1. David Kennedy, Josh Evans, and Trace Wetzel, excuse me. Kennedy's the center fielder. Was one of 6 strikeout victims for Bobrowski as he fanned back in the second inning. So Bobrowski now with 18 strikeouts in 8 innings so far this season. And quickly he's ahead in the count 0-2 to David Kennedy. Kennedy, 6 foot, 185 pounds, out of Carthage, North Carolina. The peel down to first base umpire Gary Smetana said he did not swing. Kennedy is a transfer from Catawba Valley Community College. He takes low, count now even at 2-2. Just misses the outside corner now. Count is now full at 3-2. Kennedy bats from the left side. That's fouled off toward the FMU softball stadium. That's hit in the air, but foul. So this will be pitch number 7 between Bobrowski and David Kennedy, the Saints center fielder. Swung on and missed. So Bobrowski now with 7 strikeouts through 3 1/3 innings. It'll bring up the left fielder, Josh Evans. Evans singled back up the middle in the second inning, stole second, came around to score on a 2-out double by Vance Deese. He looks to bunt his way on, but fouls it back over the screen. The 0-2 from Bobrowski. Swung on and missed. And Evans is down on strikes. So Bobrowski has now struck out the last 4 Limestone hitters. And 5 of the last 7. So that flips the lineup back to the top. Shortstop Trace Wetzel. He's going to ground that through the hole into left field. A seeing eye single. Has a Saints runner on the bases with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. So the Saints have managed a base runner in every inning so far. That'll bring to the place Vance Deese, the right fielder. Deese walked and scored in the first inning and had a 2-run double to deep center field in the second inning. Ball's in the dirt. And Wetzel will advance on the wild pitch. So the Saints have another runner in scoring position. Bobrowski now up to 91 pitches. I would have to assume this will probably be his last inning of work. There is some stirring down in the Patriot bullpen. Two-one from Bobrowski to Vance Deese. High. It's a right-hander down in the bullpen. Can't see his number yet. Maybe Bailey Wendell, but I'm not sure. It's grounded to first. High hopper, but Magnum comes down with it. Flips to Bobrowski. Close play at first. But Deese is retired for the 3rd out. We've played 3.5 innings. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Limestone 3, Francis Marion 1. Escape out. Go to box score. P. Back for the bottom of the 4th inning, drew up for the Patriots. Batters 4, 5, and 6. That's Gonzalez, Maddox, and Cottingham. And Marcus Johnson has set the last 7 Patriot batters down in order. A couple of strikeouts mixed in there. Gonzalez was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Entered the contest with a .364 average, a homer and 4 RBIs. Wind really whipping right now. Like to see Lenny will get one in the air toward left field, see how far it could go. In the dirt, count now 2-0. Gonzalez, the senior, out of Sumter, South Carolina, Lakewood High School. He transferred to FMU after 2 seasons with the Fire Ants at USC Sumter. Grounded foul, count now 2-2. Last season, Gonzalez ranked 11th in the Peach Belt in homers with 9 and 20th in RBIs with 38. And he was 6th in on-base percentage at .451. That one's through the wickets all the way back to the backstop. Count now full on the Patriot DH. Inside, ball 4, and the Patriots have a base runner. So Gonzalez draws a leadoff walk. We'll bring up Todd Maddox. FMU third baseman. Had an RBI single to right field back in the first inning. Maddox with the John Denver favorite is his at-bat music. Maddox hails from Winsboro, South Carolina. He's a transfer from USC Lancaster and a graduate of Blythewood High School. Maddox is a business major here at Francis Marion. And he is now hitting the count 3-0. So Maddox in the driver's seat here with no outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Lenio Gonzalez, the runner at first. It's taken for called strike 1. Looked like Maddox was taking all the way there. No intention to swing. Johnson from the stretch. Swung on and missed. Count now is full. Three-2 foul back into the screen. We'll do it again. Johnson now up to 60 pitches. And Maddox takes high for ball 4, and the Patriots have something working here in the bottom of the 4th inning. As Gonzalez and Maddox take back-to-back walks. It'll bring a visit to the mound from the Limestone pitching staff. There are no outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Gonzalez, the Patriot runner at second. Maddox, the FMU runner at first base. Grayson Cunningham will be stepping in. Cottingham lined to first base back in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. No action in the Limestone bullpen, but there's a little bit of movement. Cottingham, as we mentioned, a native of Florence, graduated from West Florence High School. Before landing here at FMU, he attended Florence Darlington Technical College and USC Sumter for his freshman year. Cottingham squares to bunt. Foul at home plate. So with nobody out here, Coach Inhabitant looking to move the runners up into scoring position. Let's see if he keeps the bunt on and if Cottingham can execute. Cottingham does have one sacrifice this year, but it is of the sacrifice fly variety. He bunts that in the air, but foul. So Cottingham unable to get the sacrifice down. Let's see if Inhabitant keeps it on even with 2 strikes or whether Cottingham will be swinging away. Prior to the season, with the added speed on the Patriot roster this year, some of the small ball stuff is something that Coach Inhabitant wanted to use and make more use of. He's swinging away, pops it, but it's going to find the seats. The 0-2 from Johnson to Cottingham. Swung on and missed. So that brings up the catcher, Dalton Dabbs. Dabbs flew out to left field. He's 0 for 1. He does have a couple of runs scored, but still looking for his first base hit of the season. This would be a nice time for it to come. Patriot runners, first and second with 1 out. Patriots trailing 3-1. In there for a called strike. Second baseman Danley dancing back and forth to the bag, trying to keep Gonzalez as close as possible. Cut down a little bit of his lead. Maybe prevent him from scoring on a base hit, although left field is playing really deep. Any kind of base hit to left field, the runner would easily score. Right field, not so much, playing about medium depth. The outfield is Evans in left, Kennedy in center, and Deese in right. The infield remains Roberts at third, Wetzel at short, Danley at second, and Huber at first. Johnson on the mound and Strovink behind the plate. So Dabbs steps back in, count of 1-1. Johnson now ahead in the count, 1-2. Again, the winds is whipping the American flag out in right center field. And certainly the national championship banners on top of the field house, blowing straight out to left field. Johnson misses. Count is now even. Dabbs, also from Sumter, South Carolina, and a product of Wilson Hall Academy. In his second year with the Patriots. And he has now worked the count full. Coach Inabinit was impressed with the way Dabbs handled himself behind the plate during fall practice, calling a game and receiving, and also as far as throwing and hitting. That one's popped in the air, back of home plate. Strovink is over and makes the catch on one knee in front of the Patriot dugout. And now there are two down here in the bottom of the fourth inning, with the Patriot runners forced to hold at first and second. So John Mitchell Carter steps in. Carter called out on strikes in the bottom of the second inning. He's 0 for 1. He does have 3 RBIs this season through the first 4 games. And he will bat lefty against the left-hander. That one's fouled. So Carter's got his work cut out for him, down 0-2. The mentions here at Cornell Field, 330 down the lines, 375 to the alleys, and 400 to straightaway center field. Misses outside. Ball 1. Gonzalez remains the runner at second. Maddox the runner at first. Both those players walked this inning. But then Johnson recovered to fan Cottingham and get Dabbs on a foul out. Two. Misses outside. Count now goes full. Well, that'll give the base runners a few extra steps as the merry-go-round will commence once the ball leaves the hand of Johnson, or he starts his windup anyway. That'll help Gonzalez out at second. Could even possibly help Maddox to score on some type of base hit from first. There they go. Swung on and fouled at the plate. Runners will retreat and we'll do it all over again. With the first baseman playing behind Maddox, he's halfway to second base before the ball ever leaves the hand of Johnson. So he could conceivably score on some type of base hit if Carter can come through here. It's grounded to first base. Huber's over. He's going to flip to Johnson, who tags the bag. And the Patriots retire. They do get a couple of base runners and a pair of bases on balls, but cannot come up with the hit. We've played 4 full innings. Limestone 3, Francis Marion 1. Back for the top of the fifth inning, and the Patriots have a new hurler on the mound. Junior right-hander Reese Kleinhelter. He's going to be making his first appearance of the season. Kleinhelter, a junior, 5'10", 165 pounds, out of Jasper, Indiana, a product of Jasper High School. He transferred from the University of Southern Indiana, where he played 2 seasons. Last year, as a sophomore, pitched in 12 games out of the bullpen, an 0-1 record. As a freshman, he pitched in 7 games with a 4.50 ERA. So this will be his first appearance as a Patriot. Bobrowski's final numbers. The senior left-hander for FMU, 4 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 3 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. He threw 95 pitches. That now gives Bobrowski 20 strikeouts through 9 innings pitched this season. I think I can even come up with that strikeouts per game average. And that's because I have a Francis Marion math degree. Due up for Limestone, Forbes, Huber, and Strovink. Batters 3, 4, and 5 in the Saints lineup. Forbes 0 for 1 with a walk. Again, if you enjoy college baseball, these two teams will be back at it tomorrow, 2 o'clock here at Cormel Field. Admission is $8 for adults, $5 for students, and FMU students get in free with their identification. But that's a 2 o'clock first pitch tomorrow here at Cormel Field at Sparrow Stadium. And Kleinhelter's first pitch as a Patriot is high for ball 1. And his second one is a called strike. Just got news that the Patriot women's tennis team was victorious as they defeated Bluefield State University 4-0. So the Patriot women will move into the winner's bracket. Where they will play either Palm Beach Atlantic University or the University of Mount Olive tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Patriots won the number 1 and number 3 doubles matches to take the doubles point, and then Fredrika Regner with a 6-2, 6-2 win at number 1 singles. Herman Michael with a 6-love, 6-4 win at number 5 singles, and Lashika Vala with a 6-2, 6-2 win at number 6 singles to count for the 4 Patriot points. So both Patriot tennis teams victorious today. The men 4-1 over Newberry, the women 4-0 over Bluefield State. Both will be in action tomorrow. They'll actually play 2 matches tomorrow, as the finals are set for later on Saturday afternoon. Check swing, did he go? First base umpire Gary Smetana said yes, he did. And Kleinhelter has a strikeout. So the first baseman, Benjamin Huber, steps in. Huber 1 for 2, strikeout in the first, and a single to left center. A single to the left side in the 3rd inning. Those, of course, were against Bobrowski, the Patriots starter. Kleinhelter is a marketing major here at Francis Marion. Fouled off over toward the soccer field. Count 1-2. Huber swings and misses. And Kleinhelter has struck out the first two batters he's faced wearing the red, white, and blue. Up steps the Saints catcher, Kyle Strovink. Strovink 1 for 2. RBI single in the first. Grounded out to shortstop in the third. Misses low. Count now 2-0. The 3-0 from Kleinhelter to Strovink. Hit in the air to center field. Hanna going back to the track. Reaches up and makes the catch about midway on the warning track. A long, loud out. But the Patriots retire the Saints 1-2-3 here in the top of the fifth. We move to the bottom of the fifth inning. Limestone still leads 3-1. Sam Stonskas leads off the bottom of the fifth inning for the Patriots. Limestone has a defensive change. Now in playing third base is Tyler Odell, senior infielder, 6'2", 295 pounds, from North Hanover, New Jersey. He's replacing Michael Roberts. Roberts went 0 for 2 in his 2 at-bats tonight. So Marcus Johnson out for his 5th inning of work. has only allowed one hit. That was way back in the first inning. He has walked 3 and hit 1 batter. Struck out 4. It's going to ground to second base. Danley comes in, scoops, throws to Huber, and Stonskus is retired to open the bottom of the 5th inning. So the speedy Bill Hanna steps in now. Hanna 0 for 2. Popped to short and flew out to right field. Support Francis Marion University Athletics by joining the Swamp Fox Club. For more information, visit our website at FMUpatriots.com or call 843-661-1240. 843-661-1240 and join the Swamp Fox Club. Johnson quickly ahead on Hanna, 0-2. And that one's fouled back into the catcher's mitt, and Hanna's retired on strikes. Home plate umpire Mike Parnell checked with first base umpire Gary Smetana to see if the catcher had held it. Strovink had, and Hanna's retired for the second out. That'll bring up Tanner Wakefield, the right fielder. Wakefield 0 for 1, walked and scored in the first, and a strikeout victim in the 3rd inning. So Johnson belying his 6.75 ERA coming into the contest has handled the Patriots pretty well since that first inning. That one's lined into center field. And Wakefield has the Patriots' second base knock of the evening. So with 2 outs, let's see if the Patriots can make some noise as Tyler Mangum steps in. Mangum was hit by a pitch in the first inning, grounded to short in the 3rd. Wakefield is the Patriot run at first. He has stolen 1 base this season. We mentioned that Limestone had some problems holding runners in the past or throwing them out, as opponents were 10 for 10 over the first 4 contests in the stolen base category. Patriots really haven't had an opportunity to run tonight. Being it situation or the particular runners that have been on base. This could possibly be a situation where Coach Inhabitant might start Wakefield, although it is against a left-handed pitcher. That was a screamer that was fouled off toward the soccer field. Again, we want to thank Kelsey King on the camera tonight, Media Center staff, and Chelsea Gregley doing the live stats for the Patriots tonight. That allows me to just run my mouth for 3 hours. Tavi Mata joining us in the press box. Mata is the marketing intern for the Patriots this school year. Johnson now up to 92 pitches. There's a little stirring in the Saints bullpen, but it basically looks to be goofing around, not really warming up. So Magnum has worked the count to 2-2. As Wakefield takes his lead off of first base. Swung on and missed. So Magnum is down on strikes. Patriots do get one base runner on a Wakefield single, but he's stranded at first. We played 5 full innings. Limestone 3, Francis Marion 1. Reese Kleinhelter back on the mound for his second inning of work. He will face Limestone batters 6, 7, and 8. Odell, Danley, and Kennedy here in the top of the 6th inning. Line score for the Saints, 3 runs on 5 hits and no errors. The Patriots 1 run on 2 hits with 1 error. Fortunately, that 1 error was a 2-out miscue that allowed the 2 runs to score eventually to score in the top of the 2nd inning. Right now, the difference in the game. So Tyler Odell steps in for his first at-bat this evening. He took over from Michael Roberts at third base. Odell batting 167. He's 1 for 6 this season. Does have a double, 1 RBI. And he bats from the left side against the righty Kleinhelter. And we mentioned the history of the Limestone program. It was begun in 1988, and again, their first coach for the first 4 seasons was Hall of Fame pitcher Gaylord Perry. Following Perry, Francis Marion graduate and Hall of Fame member Chico Lombardo then coached the Saints from 1992 through 2014. Posting 573 wins, which is the most in program history. Chris Wiley took over the program in 2015, and he is now in his 6th season on the Saints bench. So Odell draws a leadoff walk here in the top of the 6th inning. I'll bring up the second baseman, Ethan Danley. Danley 0 for 2. A strikeout victim of Josh Bobrowski each of his first 2 times to the plate. He squares, takes for called strike 1, but on the play, Odell steals second base. So let's see if the Saints keep the sacrifice on to try and move Odell over to third with 1 out, or whether they'll let Danley hit away now that they have a runner in scoring position. Still squaring. Fouls the bunt back. So he's now in the hole 0-2. And will undoubtedly be swinging away at this point. Patriot defense remains unchanged. Maddox, Stonskus, Cottingham, and Mangum from third to first. Carter, Hanna, and Wakefield in the outfield. Dalton Dabbs behind the plate. Check swing, he went. And Danley's down on strikes for the third time this evening. So David Kennedy, the center fielder, will now bat. He's also fanned twice tonight, both times against Bobrowski in the second and fourth innings. Tyler Odell, the Limestone runner at second base now with one out. We're playing here in the top of the sixth inning. Saints lead 3-1. Scoring once in the first. Patriots tied it in the bottom of the first. And then Limestone with 2 unearned runs in the top of the second. And that accounts for the 3-1 score. Again, the Francis Marion softball team, 4-0 on the young season, will play a twin bill at Belmont Abbey College tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Then they'll return home to Florence and host Newberry College for a doubleheader on Sunday at 1 o'clock. We will have tomorrow's baseball game here on the webcast, as well as Sunday's softball twin bill. The 1-2 from Kleinhelter. Ooh, just curved around the outside of the plate, 2-2. Kleinhelter gets the sign from Dabbs. That's hit in the air to center field. Hanna freezes. Moves a couple steps to his left, makes the catch. The runner, Odell, is tagging, and he will beat the throw into third base. So, fly out to right field. And Odell just advances on the catch. Now they're 2 down. F9 with the plus for the runner. And that's it. I'm sorry, F8, my bad. It's not a sack? No, because no runs scored. You only have sacks on runs scored, so just a plus. So now 2 outs, and the Saints have a runner on third for Josh Evans. Evans 1 for 2. Single in the second, struck out in the fourth. Two called strikes, and Kleinhelter is ahead in the count now as the Patriots look to get out of this inning without any damage. Tyler Odell, the runner on third, he walked to lead off the inning, stole second, and advanced to third on the fly out to center field by Kennedy. The 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So the Saints do have one base runner, but no runs scored. We head to the bottom of the sixth inning. Limestone 3, Francis Marion 1. Yeah, it's only a sacrifice I didn't realize I'd said that.
Yeah, you said sacrifice. But how does that work? Because a sacrifice.
I wasn't listening. I won't weigh in.
I could play the Marines. No, I didn't. Because they gave themselves up on that case. No, but not on purpose. He was trying to get a hit.
Oh my God.
But he was moving the runner to third.
All right, Patriot batters 4, 5, and 6. Due up here in the bottom of the sixth inning, Gonzalez, Maddox, and Cottingham. Heart of the Patriot order. Gonzalez struck out in the first, walked in the fourth inning. Marcus Johnson still on the mound for the Saints as Gonzalez skies the first pitch in the infield. Shortstop Trace Wetzel settles under it. And Gonzalez is retired on one pitch. Todd Maddox now steps in. Maddox singled and drove in a run in the first inning. Walked in the fourth inning. So Marcus Johnson now up to 96 pitches. 60 of them have been strikes. That one's hit into center field. It's just out of the reach of the second baseman, who makes a diving effort. And Maddox has his second hit of the evening. Little Texas leaguer into shallow right center field. Patriots have a base runner. So Grayson Cottingham steps in. Cottingham lined to first in the first inning and struck out in the fourth. Cottingham had a chance to sacrifice the runners up to second and third with less than 2 outs in the fourth, but couldn't get the bunt down. So it'd be a nice time to recover and get a base hit here, move the runners along. He's ahead in the count now, 2-0. Maddox, the Patriot runner at first, does not have a stolen base this year. Count now 3-0. You'd have to think that Cottingham would probably get the take sign here as the Patriots trail by 2 runs. And Johnson is now up over 100 pitches, which is a lot of pitches this early in the season to throw. Johnson says take that with the called strike on the 3-0 take. The 3-1 from Johnson to Cottingham. Grounded to short. Off his glove. See how the official score is going to rule that. He's going to call that an E6. As that time, the shortstop Wetzel tried to lay that one. Still had time to make the play at second base, but was unable to come up with it. So the Patriots now have 2 runners on and 1 out here in the 6th inning. No, Benoit. Francis Marion will be freshman Jake Benoit batting for Dabs. Benoit has appeared in 2 games this season. He's 0 for 2. Does have a walk. On base percentage of .333. He bats here with 1 out. Maddox the runner on second. Cottingham the runner at first. That offering from Johnson misses. That one's grounded to third. Snagged by Odell. He'll step on third for the force out. So Benoit reaches on the fielder's choice. But Maddox is forced out for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up another pinch hitter for the Patriots. As number 44, Darius Nobles, junior from Greenville, North Carolina. 6 foot, 245 pounds, will pinch hit. This will be his second appearance of the 2020 season. Had one other pinch hitting appearance, and he singled to center in that pinch hitting appearance. That was against, I believe, Southern Wesleyan last Saturday. So Cottingham now the runner at second. Benoit the runner at first. As Nobles bats here in the bottom of the 6th. 2 outs. Patriots trailing 3-1. Wild pitch, and both runners will advance the base. So Strovinc did all he could to get in front of that one, but it was off his shoe and off his cleat and back to the backstop. So now Cottingham at third and Benoit at second. And Strovinc will go out to talk to his pitcher, which now upwards of 110 pitches. You'd have to figure this is the last inning for Johnson. And it could be the last batter for him if he does not retire Nobles. Good speed on the base pass, so you'd figure any type of hit to the outfield would score both runners. Off-speed pitch fools Nobles. He's down in the count 1-2. Nobles spent a redshirt season at UNC Pembroke before playing 2 years at Lewisburg College. One of many Patriots named to the FMU Swamp Fox Athletic Academic Honor Roll last semester. He's a middle-level education major, the concentration in history. Fouled off over toward the field house as Noble stays alive. That one's grounded back up the middle. Second baseman moves over. Danley feels it, throws. Huber with the scoop at first base, and Nobles retired. So the Patriots will strand 2 runners here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We move to the top of the 7th. Limestone 3, Francis Marion 1. Back for the 7th inning. Reese Kleinhelter still on the mound for the Patriots. New catcher for Francis Marion, Tristan Freeman. 6'4", 225-pound sophomore from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and a product of St. James High School. He's now behind the plate. And out in left field for the Patriots, it's number 7, Peyton Creech. 5'11", 170-pound junior out of Zebulon, North Carolina, and a product of East Wake High School. Kleinhelter will be facing the top of the order for Limestone: Trace Wetzel, Vance Deese, and Brian Forbes. Wetzel steps in, 1 for 3, ground out, reached on a fielding error by the pitcher, and singled through the left side. Kleinhelter has allowed only a walk in his 2 innings of work. He's also struck out 4 batters. So that's now 12 strikeouts for Patriot pitchers through 6 innings. Low count now, 2-1. Here's somebody throwing down in the Patriot bullpen, but his number's obscured from us here in the press box. Grounded to Stonskis at short. His throw over the Magnum in time, and Wetzel is retired. Right fielder Vance Deese now steps in. Deese 1 for 2, walked and scored in the first, doubled home 2 runs in the 2nd inning, and grounded out to first base in the 4th inning. Again, we'll be back on the air tomorrow at 2 o'clock for game number 2 of this series. If you're a college baseball fan or a supporter of FMU athletics, come out and watch the Patriots play 2 o'clock tomorrow against these same Saints here at Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium in the Griffin Athletic Complex. That one's lined to left field. Creech over, dives, cannot come up with it. It's going to roll to the wall. Deese rounding second, and he's going to slide in at third, and he's going to be out. So credit Deese with a double, and then out 7-6-5 at third base, trying to stretch it into a triple. Creech with the good effort out in left field could not come up with it, just eluded his outstretched glove, but a good throw to the Stonskis, the relay man, and he threw to Maddox at third, who put the tag on him, and Deese was dead meat at third base. I think the golden rule is never make the first or third outs at third base, but with 1 out, he was trying to come all the way around to third and be in really good scoring position with only 1 out, and turned out to be the wrong choice. That one inside, not quite sure how it didn't hit Forbes, but the count now 1-1. Forbes is 0-2, 0 for 2 tonight, has a walk and 2 strikeouts. Kleinhelter in his 3rd inning of work, up to 41 pitches, 25 of which have either found the strike zone or been put in play. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Two misses inside. Count now full on the Saints' designated hitter, Brian Forbes. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, said first base umpire Gary Smetana. Forbes is down on strikes. And the Patriots survived the double down the left field line to retire the Saints 1-2-3. It's time to stretch here at Cornell Field in Sparrow Stadium, and also time to wake up those Patriot bats. Limestone leads 3-1. All right, let's hope that the new pitcher for the Saints here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Number 11, J.J. Shelton, freshman right-hander from Summerville, South Carolina, graduate of Cane Bay High School. 5'10" and 165 pounds, making his second appearance of the season. Previous appearance, he pitched 2 1/3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 1 strikeout and 2 walks. That will put to end a quality start, certainly for Limestone starter Marcus Johnson, who allowed only 3 hits and 1 run in 6 innings of work. 6 strikeouts for Johnson. Sam Stonskas leads off for the Patriots. He is 0-2 with a pair of groundouts. 1 to the first baseman, 1 to the second baseman. That's lifted in the air foul over toward the Patriot dugout. Huber's under it, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So center fielder Bill Hanna now steps in. Hanna 0 for 3. Popped up to shortstop, flew out to right field and struck out. Patriots running out of outs here as the Saints lead 3-1. All the scoring came in the first inning and a half. Two-out RBI single by Kyle Strovink in the top of the first for Limestone. Todd Maddox with a 2-out RBI single in the bottom of the first tied it up. And then in the top of the second, Vance Deese, 2-out, 2-run double to center field, gave Limestone the 3-1 advantage. Hanna pops it foul back over the press box. The 1-2 from Shelton to Hannah. Called strike 3. So sophomore Tanner Wakefield now steps in. Wakefield 1 for 2, walked and scored in the first, struck out in the third, and singled to center back in the fifth. He's got one of 3 Francis Marion hits tonight. So Shelton has entered the game and is throwing strikes. Wakefield now down in the count 0-2. Oh, 2 swung on and missed. And Wakefield is down on strikes. The Patriots go 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We head to the top of the 8th. Limestone 3, Francis Marion 1. Well, we found out the opponent for the Francis Marion women's tennis team tomorrow. Palm Beach Atlantic University defeated Mount Olive 4-2 in the tournament over at the City of Florence Dr. Eddie Floyd Tennis Center. So Francis Marion and Palm Beach Atlantic will play in the semifinals tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. The Francis Marion men will face Barton College in the semifinals at 9 a.m. And both teams will be back in action tomorrow afternoon in their second match of the day. The men will play again at 2 o'clock and the women at 4 o'clock. Everyone join us here on the Patriot Sports Network, our first spring sports webcast of the year. And from here on out, all baseball and softball games will be webcast in addition to the remaining 3 basketball doubleheaders that we've got left at home. First baseman Benjamin Huber to lead off the Limestone 8th. Huber 1 for 3, a single and a pair of strikeouts. This is his second time facing Reese Kleinhelter. Kleinhelter struck him out back in the 5th inning and is now quickly ahead, 0-2. It's grounded to short. Stanskis with the nice play. Tough hop. Throws to Mangum. And Huber's retired, 6-3. And these two programs were fierce rivals back in the old NAIA District 6 days. The Saints now members of the Conference Carolinas, at least for this year. Then they will move to the South Atlantic Conference beginning this fall. That was hit in the air to center field. Hannah going back to the track, to the wall. That is all. Home run, straightaway center field for Kyle Stovink. So the Saints now lead 4-1. Stovink with a solo shot. That one measured at about 421 feet. Hannah went back to the 400 sign, stood and watched it go into the trees. That is the batter's eye here at Cornell Field. So that's the first run allowed by Kleinhelter. Odell lifts the fly ball to fairly deep left field, but Creech's back, makes the catch a few steps from the warning track. That's the first run allowed by Kleinhelter, and the first run scored by anybody since the second inning. So Ethan Danley, the second baseman, stands in now. He's 0 for 3, trying to avoid the golden sombrero. He was fanned in the second, third, and sixth innings. The 2-0 pitch from Kleinhelter to Danley. Lifted in the air, foul down the third base line. It's going to get out of play. Maddox has no play. This is the 2-1 pitch. Low for ball 3. Hit the left field fairly deep. Creech over. Foul ball. Just foul. Danley misses a double by just a foot or two. So Kleinhelter gets the sign from Tristan Freeman, now behind the plate for FMU. And here's the 3-2 offering. Lined up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Stonskas with the nice diving try, but wasn't able to come up with it. And Danley has his first hit of the evening. So David Kennedy, the center fielder, will bat with 2 outs and a runner on first. Kennedy 0 for 3. Pair of strikeouts and a fly out. That's in the dirt. And Danley steals second. He read that pitch very well and looked to be on the go before it actually hit the dirt. So we'll credit him with the stolen base there, and he's now in scoring position with 2 outs for Kennedy. Danley's first stolen base of the 2020 campaign. And that is Limestone's third stolen base of the night. The first one against Tristan Freeman, the new Patriot catcher. Grounded back up the middle. Stonskas, a nice diving stop right at the second base bag, pops to his feet, throws to first, and Kennedy is retired for the third out. So the Saints do add one more run on a solo homer to dead center field by Kyle Strovic. As we head to the bottom of the 8th inning, Limestone now leads 4-1. You're watching the Patriots Sports Network. Tyler Magnum leads off the bottom of the 8th for the Patriots. As J.J. Shelton continues on the mound for Limestone. Mangum 0 for 2, hit by a pitch, grounded to short and struck out. Swings and misses at that offering. Count now 1-2. That one is lined to right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. A little duck snort into shallow right field. In front of Deese. And Tyler Mangum has his first hit of the night. And the Patriots have a leadoff base runner. That'll bring designated hitter Lenio Gonzalez to the plate. Gonzalez 0 for 2, a strikeout, a walk, and a pop-up. This will be his first time batting from the left side, as he hit from the right side against the lefty Johnson to start the game. Now against the righty Shelton, he turns around and hits from the left side. Got a hole to hit through with the first baseman Huber holding the runner on. And it's the first time for Shelton to throw from the stretch, as he had retired the first 3 Patriots he had faced. He misses on 2 straight outside to Gonzalez. As the Patriot cleanup hitter looks to do some damage here and hopefully reduce that 3-run deficit. 2-0 straight down the middle, right down Irby Street. Called strike 1. Throw to first, but Mangum is back. Tyler does not have a stolen base attempt this season. And down by 3, can't imagine that he'd be in a running situation here. That one's hammered to center field on a line and is over the head as Kennedy misjudged it. That's going to be at least a double for Gonzalez. And Gonzalez is digging for third, and he will pull up with a stand-up triple. And the Patriots have scored for the first time since the first inning. So an RBI triple by Gonzalez, straightaway center field. Scores Tyler Mangum from first base. Kennedy froze on it, then took a step or two in, and it was over his head and went all the way to the wall. Todd Maddox now step in with a runner on third and still nobody out. Maddox 2 for 2, RBI single in the first, walked in the fourth, and singled in the sixth. That's Gonzalez's first triple as a Patriot. This is the second year here in Florence. Looking to see how many triples he may have had at USC Sumter. Maddox now down to the count, 0-2. Swung on and missed. Strike three. So Shelton fans Maddox for the first out. Gonzalez still at third base. And Coach Inhabitant will have a meeting with Cottingham. Patriots at the very least need to have a productive out here and get that third run in from third base. Line score now for the Saints, 4 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. For Francis Marion, 2 runs on 5 hits with 1 error. Tristan Freeman, Patriot catcher, is in the on-deck circle. So Cottingham, 0 for 3, did reach base on an infield error his last trip to the plate. Hard hit ball to shortstop. The 1-0 from Shelton. Popped up. Down the left field line. Shortstop Wetzel's out. Makes the catch in foul territory. And they're now 2 down. So Tristan Freeman will come to the plate for his first at-bat of the evening. Benoit pinch hit for Dabbs, the starting Patriot catcher, and Freeman took his spot in the field. Tristan 0 for 8 in his 2 starts this season, does have 2 runs scored and an RBI. Nice stop by Strovic there to prevent the wild pitch and possibly Gonzalez scoring from third. Shelton with the sign, the 1-1. Outside and high, count now 2-1. Again, Lenio Gonzalez, the Patriot runner on third. His RBI triple has trimmed the margin to 4-2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Inside the low, count now 3-1 to Tristan Freeman. Freeman, a sports marketing major, 6'4", 225 pounds, out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and St. James High School. Swung on a miss. The count now full. So J.J. Shelton on the mound for the Saints, looking to hold the margin at 2 runs. His 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Freeman strikes out, and the inning is over. The Patriots do pick up a run. Lenio Gonzalez with an RBI triple. But the Patriots strand that runner on third with a strikeout and a pop-up and another strikeout. We head to the top of the ninth. Limestone leads Francis Marion 4-2. You're watching the Patriot Sports Network. New pitcher for the Patriots here in the top of the ninth inning. Number 31, Austin Moody, senior right-hander, 6'3", 220 pounds, out of Dillon, South Carolina, and a product of Dillon High School. Attended Florence Darlington Technical College before coming to the Patriots. Political science major. He pitched in 18 contests last year, all in relief, 1-1 mark with 2 saves and a 4.76 ERA. So Reese Kleinhelter goes 4 innings for the Patriots. He did give up 1 run on 3 hits. Had 4 strikeouts and walked 1 batter. Moody will face batters 9, 1, and 2 in the Limestone order. Again, a reminder, tomorrow, the Patriots and Saints again at action, 2 o'clock here on Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium. Patriots softball team is at Belmont Abbey tomorrow for a 1 p.m. doubleheader. They will host Newberry College on Sunday at 1 o'clock here at the FMU softball stadium. Patriot basketball on the road at Young Harris College. Women's game at 1:30 tomorrow, men's game at 3:30. They'll be back at home on Wednesday night hosting Augusta University. The Patriot tennis teams both in action at the City of Florence College Tennis Invitational at the City of Florence Dr. Eddie Floyd Tennis Center. Patriot men play Barton at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The FMU women play Palm Beach Atlantic at 11 o'clock. The men will play again at 2 o'clock, and the women again at 4 o'clock. And Josh Evans grounds the first pitch he sees from Moody back to the mound. Moody is equal to the task, throws to Mangum at first for the putout. We move back to the top of the order now for shortstop Trace Wetzel. Wetzel 1 for 4. Singled in the 4th, has a pair of ground outs, and also reached on a fielding error. That fielding error probably the key play of the game, as it came with 2 outs and allowed for a 2-out, 2-run double by the Saints in the top of the 2nd inning that gave them a lead they have not relinquished. Bloop to shallow right field. That'll get down for a hit. And Wetzel has his 2nd base knock of the night. So 1 out and a runner on first for the Saints. That'll bring Vance Deese to the plate. Deese 2 for 3. Walked and scored in the first. Drove in the 2 runs with that double in the second inning. Grounded to first base in the fourth inning and doubled in the seventh, but was thrown out at third, trying to extend that into a triple. Again with the first baseman Mangum holding the runner on. Big hole for Deese, the left-handed batter, to hit through on the right side. Moody with the sign, the 1-1. Outside now 2-1. Patriots desperately want to keep this margin at 2. Have a little bit better shot in the bottom of the ninth inning here to rally. Moody falls behind 3-1 to the Saints right fielder. Outside ball 4, and the Saints have another base runner. So Deese draws his second walk tonight, and that puts runners on first and second, still 1 out. And the designated hitter, Brian Forbes, comes to the plate. Forbes 0 for 3 with a walk. He, like Danley last inning, will be trying to avoid the golden sombrero. The 0-1 in the dirt, gets away from Freeman. Can't find it. Now he does. But both runners will advance a base on the wild pitch. So Limestone looking to re-expand its 2-run lead. Has runners on second and third, only 1 out here in the top of the ninth. Brian Forbes is at the plate. The 1-1 from Moody. Outside, goes all the way to the backstop, and the runners will move up again on another wild pitch. So back-to-back wild pitches have given the Saints a much-needed insurance run here in the top of the ninth inning as they now lead 5-2. That'll bring a visit from FMU head coach Art Nabonet. Freeman was able to get a little bit of his glove on at that time, but the ball was just too far outside to keep it in the dirt there at home plate. And Nabonet is back to the dugout. Moody with the 2-1. That's grounded back, snagged by Moody, and they've got the runner caught in a rundown now between third and home. And Maddox will put the tag on the base runner, Deese. So a good play that time by Moody. Forbes credits with a fielder's choice to the pitcher, and he advanced to second on the throw. And Deese is out 1-2-5 in the short run down. between third and home. So good play by Moody that time to snag that high chopper on the mound. Now he'll have to deal with the cleanup batter, Benjamin Huber. Huber 1 for 4. I think I'd have to agree with umpires that time. I didn't think he went on that pitch. Looked like he checks his swing. The 1-0. High and outside, 2-0. Down low, count now 3-0. Strovink, the Limestone catcher, is in the on-deck circle. He went deep his last trip to the plate. That one is grounded foul over by the Limestone dugout as Huber got the green light on 3-0. Forbes, the runner at second, 2 down here in the top of the 9th inning. Inside corner, called strike 2. So Moody has come back to a full count here against the Saints' first baseman. Three-two. Grounded back up the middle. That'll get into center field. Runner rounds third. He will score without a throw. And so Huber delivers the RBI single back up the middle. And the Saints now lead 6-2. And Coach Inhabitant is back out, and he will be making a pitching change. We'll take a short break and be back in 30 seconds. New pitcher for the Patriots, Chad Wallen. 6'2", 210-pound junior right-hander out of Brunswick, Georgia, product of Glenn Academy. Transferred to FMU from Southern Union State Community College in Alabama, where he played 2 seasons. This will be his second appearance as a Patriot. He has pitched 1 inning, gave up a hit, 2 runs, 1 earned. No walks, no strikeouts, and no record. He will look to stop the bleeding here in the top of the 9th as the Saints have scored a couple insurance runs and now lead 6-2. Line score for Limestone, 6 runs on 10 hits with 1 error, 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for your Patriots. Kyle Strovink, the Limestone catcher, will be the next batter. Strovink 2 for 4, RBI single in the first, grounded to short in the third, flew out to center in the 5th, and hit a mammoth 421-foot solo homer to straightaway center field into the batter's eye in the top of the 8th inning. The Limestone base runner at first will be Benjamin Huber. He just delivered a 2-out RBI single. First pitch from Wallen is a called strike. Wallen is a kinesiology major here at FMU. In the bottom of the ninth, your Patriots will be sending batters 8, 9, and 1 to the plate. There is someone throwing in the Limestone pen. I don't know if we'll see J.J. Shelton back out for a third inning or not, or whether the Saints will go to their closer. So after a first pitch called strike, Wallen now has fallen behind 3-1 to the left-handed hitting Strovink. And that is ball 4. And so the 2-out walk puts runners at first and second. That'll bring the third baseman to the plate, Tyler Odell. Odell, a defensive replacement, now batting for the third time. He walked in the 6th and flew out to left in the 8th inning. Count now goes to 2-0. There is someone throwing in the Francis Marion bullpen. A right-hander, can't see his number. Wallen misses high, count now 3-0 to Tyler Odell. And Odell draws a 2-out walk, and that loads the bases. So with 2 outs, the bases are now loaded. Ethan Danley, Limestone second baseman, comes to the plate. Danley still trying to avoid the golden sombrero. He had strikeouts in the 2nd, 3rd, and 6th inning, but in the 8th inning, delivered a base hit to center field. Danley out of Mount Airy, North Carolina. I wonder if Andy Griffith's song is his at-bat music. It certainly should be. Mount Airy, the home of the fictional Mayberry. Wallen with a couple of called strikes, and now Danley's in the hole 0-2. As Wallen looks to escape this inning without any more damage. Called strike 3. Danley is down on strikes for the 4th time today, but the Saints pick up a couple of insurance runs here in the top of the 9th. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Limestone 6, Francis Marion 2. You're watching the Patriots Sports Network. New pitcher for Limestone here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Michael Schultzes. Senior right-hander, 5'10", 195 pounds, out of Greer, South Carolina, and a product of Eastside High School. Not a safe situation here as the Patriots are down by 4 runs. Peyton Creech making his first trip to the plate tonight. He was a defensive replacement in left field. Creech 0 for 2 on the season. This is the 4th game he's played in. Count now 1-2. Schultes making his second appearance of the season. He's pitched in 1 game, 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 5 strikeouts and a walk. ERA of 3, but no record. Brian Kahn, a pinch hitter, on deck for the Patriots. He will bat for Stunskis. Just misses. Count now 2-2 on the FMU left fielder. Creech is a nursing major, a junior out of Zebulon, North Carolina, in East Wake High School. Swings and misses, and he's down on strikes for the first out here in the bottom of the ninth. So Brian Kahn will step to the plate as a pinch hitter. Kahn, a senior, 5'11", 175 pounds, out of Durham, North Carolina, Cedar Ridge High School. Played 2 seasons at, played 1 season at Lewisburg College and 1 season at Brevard College before coming to FMU. Kahn 0 for 2 this season. Does have a run scored and a base on balls. Schultes misses inside, count 0-1. Don't close the game out at the end, okay? Because I'm going to show you something, okay? Schultes gets the sign from Strovink, the 1-1. That's hit in the air to left field. Evans in a few steps, makes the catch for the second out. So the Patriots are down to their last out, trailing here 6-2 in the bottom of the ninth inning. Bill Hanna comes to the plate. Hanna 0 for 4, pop up a fly out and 2 strikeouts. Hanna is the Lake City native. Came to Francis Marion by way of USC Sumter and the Fire Ants. He's a graduate of Lake City High School. Former Panther. Takes inside ball 1. Count now even. As we mentioned, this is the 62nd meeting between these two teams. Francis Marion leads the all-time series 40-21. Chopped foul, just out of the reach of Coach Avenant at third base. If Hanna extends the game, Tanner Wakefield would be the next Patriot batter. outside and in the dirt. Evens the count at 2-2. Two count is high. So the count goes full to Hannah as the Patriots look to stay alive. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Ball game is over. So your final score, Francis Marion 6, Limestone 2. Winning pitcher for the Saints was the starter, Marcus Johnson. He moves to 1-1. Losing pitcher was Josh Bobrowski, the Patriots starter. He also falls to 1-1. Time of the game was 3 hours on the dot. In the top of the first inning, Limestone scored a run on a 2-out RBI single by Kyle Strovink. Patriots answered with a 2-out RBI single by Todd Maddox in the bottom of the first. Thanks to a 2-out error in the top of the second, Vance Deese was able to drive a 2-run double to the center field wall that puts Limestone up for good at 3-1. The Saints made it 4-1 in the top of the 8th on a solo home run by Strovink. Patriots did get 1 run back in the bottom of the 8th on an RBI triple by Lenio Gonzalez, but then Limestone tacked on 2 more runs in the top of the 9th. One scoring on a wild pitch and the other on an RBI single by Benjamin Huber. Limestone picks up its first win of the year. They are now 1-4. The Patriots fall to 2-3. Again, the two teams will be back in action tomorrow here at Cormale Field at Sparrow Stadium. First pitch is 2 o'clock. We encourage you to come out and watch. If you can't make it, please join us here on the Patriots Sports Network. I'm Michael Hawkins for Kelsey King and Chelsea Gregley. Have a good night.